Michael, why was it important to get this signing done now?
When we talk about the importance of this signing, it cannot be disguised by any other thing that this guy is just exciting. He's fun to watch, right? It's must-watch TV every time he gets out there. And so when we talk about this signing and the opportunity, given the team had some, success even the last couple of years, right? But the energy is different this year, and that is undeniable. The leadership that he's shown in the locker room as well as on the field is undeniable. And for us, this was an important step in sort of saying, hey, listen, we're going to try to be competitive every year, right? We want to have a chance to be a playoff team and win the Grey Cup on a yearly basis. That's what our goal is. But more to that, right? That this is just an exciting brand of football. And if you are not down at the stadium, if you're not watching on television, right? That's your own fault. Being the starting quarterback of a professional football team, you don't want to put any additional pressure on a player. However, that the community work, the reaching out, is just a part of who he is. He embodies, he thrives off of it. And so, to kind of be in a position where your star quarterback is also a guy who really embraces community, enjoys community, is I hate to say the bonus in this situation because there are so many bonuses. There are so many other things that he's been able to do for us. But there's a tremendous energy that is apparent in our locker room, outside of our locker room, and in our league because Chad Kelly is there. You're establishing the foundation, right? And so any great organization is based on its foundation. And so we're continuing to build on that foundation. It started with our head coach, Ryan Dinwiddie. And then the quality of person he is dictated the quality of guys he had around him. Our coaching, our entire coaching staff are guys that you not only could learn a lot from, but you want to hang out with. And so he built that base, and now as we look at it, right, our star quarterback is the same kind of guy. And so it is our hope that not only is he going to be here, but he's also going to attract those same kinds of people to come here and to play with our team. And so we could not be more excited for our Argonaut fan base, both present and to be. And we also are just I think overwhelmed here with where we are and what has been able to transpire in such a short time. It could take, it generally takes a little bit longer than this for this thing to come together. And so, as our head coach says, 2% every day, day by day, we have to be careful here now that we don't get outside of ourselves and think that this signing means that everybody's going to bow down to us. It is not the case. It's now going to make every game a little bit more difficult.
Pinball, how does it feel knowing that obviously all the Toronto sports teams have a player that they kind of identify with? Now that the Argo fans have a player that they can truly identify with that is here long-term, players that player that fans can look up to for at least the next 3 years.
Wow, when you say that, we always talk about that as a key, right? Is having people who represent your community and having consistency when you're struggling. It's also difficult to continue to bring the same people back, right? And so part of this is not only are we having success, right, but now we're able to bring those people back so that they are recognizable to our fan base as well, and there's no greater representation than Chad in that.
And how important is it now to obviously Chad's locked up, but also to Coach Dinwiddie's locked up long term as well?
Yet the having the two pillars of our organization, right, locked up and moving forward is paramount to our long-term success. And as we keep moving forward, there'll be some other work that we certainly have to do as a part of that foundation. Two guys don't make a foundation, but they're a heck of a start. It was, again, a situation where we didn't have to work as hard as one might think. He has really assimilated so well. You see him out being in the community, and of course, right, this is something that we organized specifically for today. But the reality is he marched himself down the launch pad last season during the season multiple times, and he's also been back this year as well. And he wanted to be here. He showed that by his actions, not just words. His actions showed and illustrated time and time again that he was not just a football player, but he's part of this community, and he enjoys it. He loves it, and really, the whole idea was just coming to an agreement that everybody could, get along with, because he made it clear that this community is where he wanted to be. When you're as the starting quarterback, it's just a different posture, if you will. As the starting quarterback now here, he is the voice not only of the offense, but he is the voice of our team, right? That doesn't happen for every quarterback, right? And you don't want to put every quarterback in that position. It used to be kind of thought, oh, he's always the leader, but that's not the case, right? We've seen many situations where great defensive players like Mike O'Shea have been the leader, the voice of a locker room, and been able to carry that. But he is that guy who not only is the face of the team, right? But he actually puts more work in outside of the regular hours, not just going to community, but dedicating it to getting better. He does it in a very unique way as well, right? I made the comparison. Doug Flutie, when Doug Flutie's on your team, right? That guy, he watches so much film, right? And he just tells you what to do. Yeah, you go over here, right? And Chad does it a different way, right? He has guys, more than we've ever had, guys that are staying in after the allotted time, and that are coming in early or staying late or both, right? And studying together, watching film together, and he's exceeded every expectation.
Final for me, you've worked with many different quarterbacks, whether you've played with them, coached them, or even as a general manager. Where does Chad kind of line himself of the guys you worked with in the past?
He's in the line. and when you see him come off the bench and do what he did, scored the 10 points in the fourth quarter, and I told him, listen, no pressure. That's all we want from you is 10 points a quarter. But the reality is Chad is going to speak for himself. Right. This is still the first half season that he's played as a starting quarterback, and so we won't write that script. Right. We'll leave that up to him, but I'm sure that we'll at some level we won't have to say anything, because if he continues to move in this direction, we'll be speechless.